do something different to change it up. So what I came up with is kind of a more of a Betis type pattern, and I called it the Floss back emerger because the wing on it is Oral-B Ultra Floss. And again, just another real simple pattern. It's not very complicated. You fill up your box real easy. Starting off with just some gray 8/0 thread, like you would use for an RS2. And again, it's kind of a you could say it's a guide fly, because it doesn't take a whole lot of materials, doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't, I don't use epoxy on it for it, doesn't have to, I don't have any steps in it. I just got, sit down, tie it, crank it out. So you can use done hackle fibers for the tail, or what I'm using here is a grizzly. Gives it a little bit color variation, but you can certainly use like a soft hackle done, medium done, or medium done hackle. And this is this thread I'm using is Montana Fly Company. They have some new materials, and this thread I've just fallen in love with. It's not as flossy as UTC thread, but it does lay down flat. I don't know if you can see that on how flat that is right there. So it's not as flossy as UTC, but it still lays down flat. And Uni's it's probably a lot of people's favorite, but it's for tying flat bodies, it's not really the best choice. So this is somewhere kind of in the middle. This is black extra small wire. I also use, and probably should have brought, black mono that I use for the rib, but this is just black wire, so it's a little bit thicker. This pattern in a gray and in a rust are the two that I carry. And again, this year Montana picked up these patterns for their catalog, so they're in there. And all I'm going to do is just do a thread body down. And this is a 2488 hook, size 20 right here. I tie them in 18s, 20s, 22s, 24s. You can go down to 24s. Once you get down real small, you don't even need the tail, because at that point it kind of switches over to, pass for a Betis or a midge. And then just make your rib up. And again, I like to use that mono, the black mono, for the rib, because it's a little bit smaller than even this. You can see here, I'll pass this around, you might be able to see just a little difference in it. It's not much, but you can see that when you put it on a real small fly, it'll make a difference. And then just this Ultra Floss, okay, you just break it off, make a clean cut, and all I do is just tie it in right at the head there. Okay, just like you would like an RS2 or any of those things. And then I'm just going to give it a little bit of dubbing for the thorax, for the head. Okay, so you don't need a whole lot of this super fine dubbing. And I'm kind of proud, because I've tied RS2s with this bag, and there's like a gazillion RS2s that you can tie out of one bag of superfine.
Didn't waste any of it, did you?
No, well, maybe a little bit. So just dub that on real nice and neat. And then again, this thread, it'll lay down somewhat flat, so you want to come up here and just start building up into the wing here. Okay, and you don't want to go, I don't like to go too far back, because if I made too many wraps back here, puts it right in the middle. I mean, just as a tire, my preference is not to do that. You can come back behind it just to kind of prop it up a little bit and put a wrap, and then come down and finish it off. So it just gives it a little bit of a thorax there, and then tie it off. Okay. And just make sure that's snug up in there. Here I don't put any wings or anything either. And then just come in here and stretch it out. And if you stretch it, when you cut it, it kind of poofs back, just like on the Rojo Mitch if you've tied those before. Okay, so you're just looking for just a little something. I mean, you don't have to leave it very long at all. It's just a